Good morning, everyone. Today I am presenting my paper on provenance framework for Twitter data using zero information loss graph database. So these are the objectives of my presentation. So first, the social provenance. So social media is an web-based platform for sharing thoughts, opinion, ideas across a wide audience, which is raising the several challenges like the fact investigation, network analytics, humor centrality analysis, etc. The provenance information can play a major role in solving these issues. Like data provenance, the social provenance describes the ownership source of a piece of information that propagates in a social network, which helps in identifying the rumors, investigation, and explaining how, when, and who has created any information and when this information was updated last. Most of the social media networks are providing zero or very minimal provenance information, which generating the need for a social provenance framework. So, number of the works has been carried out. A tool which is proposed by the Pritham Gundecha, in which they have fixed out some set of the attributes like the name, gender, location, religion as the provenance attributes, and capturing information about these attributes from the different social networking accounts of the same Twitter users. Although these provenance attributes gives the complete details of the social media user but does not provide the propagation history of a piece of information. And another algorithm proposed by the Pritham Gundecha for explaining how the information is flowing in a social network and tested that for generating the provenance path for piece of information from the source to a few known recipients only, not to all. Next, the Deber et al. Proposed a provenance framework using the provenance logs for identifying the malicious nodes in a distributed static network but not for the dynamic network. Secondly, the provenance logs may not capture the complete provenance information. Next, the ProvSet model, which is based on the popular W3C Prov model, which is a workflow provenance model capturing the coarse grained provenance information, not the fine grained provenance information. What they are doing is that they are identifying the tweet which has been copied from some other tweets without giving any credit to the original tweeters like the retweet, but it is suitable for the small data set only and capturing original tweet as provenance information, not the other information like who posted it, location of the user, etc. Next, the Remus et al. Proposed a provenance framework based on the algebraic structure of the semirings to compute the provenance path for the regular path queries by applying the annotations, which is a very complex process. And secondly, this is specifically for the three graph algorithms only, not a general framework. Next, the Eridane, a model for the vertex-centric graph computation based on the data log queries, was proposed to capture and query graph analytics provenance for both online and the offline mode. So most of the systems which are available are not scalable to track the provenance metadata for the social media efficiently or are not the general provenance framework. So we try to bridge this gap by designing an efficient and a scalable social provenance model. So our framework is basically based on the three main problems. First is designing the zero information loss graph database, which aims to maintain the history of all the updates without losing any information. Next is the provenance path generation of the query queue executing on the graph G. Next is querying the provenance for the specific purposes for justifying the answers as well as for querying the historical data by extending the cipher query constructs. So these are the main features of our proposed provenance framework, that is the zero information loss graph database, which supports the data versioning to maintain history of all updates. Next is querying the current state of the data and capturing the provenance for the same. Next is querying historical data by extending the cipher query constructs. Next is support for the query data anytime in the past as well as the time range. Next is query provenance for the historical queries, and the last is the provenance visualization. So first of all, we have modeled the Twitter data in the graph database by identifying the different entities and the relationship which are frequently used in the analytics like the tweet, user, country, mentioned, quoted, etc. So our graph data model is the property graph as well as the labeled graph, where all the nodes and the edges are having the properties in the form of the key value pair, and all the nodes and the edges which are of the same type are assigned the common label. So this is the our extended graph data model. So this is the class diagram of our Twitter data model where the user, tweet, countries, these are the entities which are linked with each other via this relationship like the from and the posted. And every node is having, every entity is having some properties like the user ID, name, screen name, status ID, etc. One very interesting part here is this timeline, that is the year, month, day and a tweet. Every tweet is linked with the day node which is further linked with the month and the year node. So this is very beneficial in the range queries. Like if we are not using the timeline, then to search a tweet between two particular date, like in this example from the 15th December to 18th December, we have to search in all the tweets which are available in the database and compare the date. And if we using the timeline, then we have to just go to that particular date like the 15th December and search all those 4 days like 15, 16, 17, 18 and find out all the tweets which are posted with these 4 dates. So this is very efficient for the range queries. So this is our final Neo4j schema for the Twitter dataset. So first of all, we have designed our zero information loss graph database, which is based on the zero information loss database approach to maintain all the updates without losing any information, which supports the provenance generation for all type of queries, including the historical data queries. So first of all, user is parsing the query. That query is parsed first for the node to be updated as well as the value of the attribute which needs to be updated, and the corresponding select query is generated which will return the node which will return the node to be updated, and then a clone of that particular node is going to be created which is having all the properties same and which is linked with all the nodes with the same type of the edges as the original node is, but having the updated value as in the current update query. And the valid from and valid to attribute in original node as well as in the claim node will tell us about that when any node was existing and when any data was expired. So this is the algorithm for the same. Like in this example, the user Kashmir post is from the location Kashmir and we want to update this location from the Kashmir to the Kashmir, India. So after update, the user is linked with both the location, but the valid from and valid to of these two attribute, these two nodes will tell us about when the location was Kashmir and when the location was Kashmir, India. Next is the provenance graph generation for the select queries as well as the aggregate queries. The query queue executing on the graph G will return all the result tuples as well as the query graph which is sufficient enough to run the same query again and to give the same results. Next, for all or some particular result tuples, we have to select the attribute which is not an aggregate attribute. Then corresponding to that attribute, find out the vertex in that query graph and perform the DFS on that particular vertex and which is returning the provenance path, and inserting that provenance path into the provenance graph and linking all the nodes into that provenance graph with the result tuple node via the provenance edge. So like in this example, we want to find out the most 50 retweeted tweets by any user from any given location between a given range of days. So this is the snapshot of the result we have retrieved. Like the first result tuple, I want to know how this result tuple has been derived. For this, I need to go for the provenance graph for this particular query. So this is the partial provenance graph of the query queue where we can see that this is the query node, these are the result tuple nodes, and every result tuple node is linked with all the source node which are contributing towards it via this provenance relationship. So this is the provenance graph of only the one result tuple of the query. Next is querying the provenance. So capturing provenance is information is of no use if we are not able to query the provenance graph. So querying provenance graph helps in explaining and justifying the results of the query. So this is very helpful in the social graph for identifying for the ranking, recommendation and the rumor detections. So the provenance enabled social media data can lead to the various new applications and the user scenario. One user scenario we have shown in the last. So first of all, in this example, I want to justify the result, that is how the result of a T2 has been derived of the query Q1. So by using this query, I am getting this provenance graph and able to find out that these are the three nodes which has contributed towards this generation. Next is querying the provenance for the historical data. For this, we have ended the we have extended the cipher query construct by instance all valid on now and valid on date to query the current data as well as the historical data. Like in this example, I want to find out the current location of a user as shown in the previous zero information loss graph database example. For this, we have extended the query with the instance and the valid on now. This query will be rewritten and returning the current location of a user, that is Kashmir, India, which we have updated. So next is finding the location of a user at any particular time in the past. For this, the query is extended with instance and the valid on this particular date. The query will be rewritten and will give us the location at that time, that is the Kashmir. Next is finding all the location updates of a user up till now. So the query will be all and valid on now will be rewritten and giving us all the location updates of a user. Next is getting all the location updates of a user up to any particular time in the past. For this, the query is all and valid on that particular date. So it will give us the location updates of the user up to that particular time. So next is the data set and evaluation. So this is a experimental setup of our machine. To perform for the data set, we have used the publicly available Twitter data set related to the 11 killings at the Pulwama district for the Jammu Kashmir. So our initial database is consisting of around 35,000 nodes and 78,000 relationship, which grows gradually after performing each update. And the provenance for all the queries are going to be stored into the provenance graph database, which also increases as the number of the queries are increasing. So we have executed some set of the data retrieval queries without timeline and the with timeline. So this is without timeline and this is with timeline. So what we have found that the select queries which are generating larger number of the result tuples as compared to the queries which are generating lesser number of the result tuples are taking longer time, because we are capturing the provenance information for all the result tuples, which increases the execution time with the increase in the number of the result tuples. Like in this example, query 2 and the query 23 are taking longer time because they are generating large number of the result tuples. So next is the provenance for the aggregate queries, like the query Q3 and the query Q9. In this case, are taking longer time as compared to some select queries which are generating the which are generating the larger number of result tuples as compared to the aggregate queries, because the aggregation is going to be performed on all the result tuples, all the source tuples which has contributed towards it. So as the number of the source tuples are increasing towards generation of a one particular result tuple, then the execution time is also increasing. Next is querying and provenance querying analysis. So we have executed some set of the provenance queries on our provenance graph database. It consists of around 22,000 nodes and 43,000 relationship at the time of execution of these queries. So we have found that for justifying the answers of the query result, then it is very much efficient, because all the result tuple nodes has been, all the data retrieval queries as well as the result tuple nodes are labeled with the query and the query tuple, which are linked. That query tuple node is linked with all the source node which has contributed towards it via the provenance relationship. So by using this relationship, we have efficiently performed the querying execution, provenance query execution. Next is querying provenance for the historical data. So we have seen some historical data queries previously. So we have found that it is taking longer time as compared to the other provenance queries, because the extended cipher query rewriting was performed. So this is the cyclic process model of the use case scenario for investigating the terrorist attack by identifying the suspicious node and their linked communities by visualizing the provenance graph generated by the proposed framework. So these are the conclusions and the future work. An efficient data provenance framework to capture the provenance information for the Twitter data has been proposed, which is capable to capture the provenance information for the select queries, aggregate queries, range queries with the timeline. It is also able to capture the provenance information for the historical data queries and the standing queries via this ZIL-GDB. A small overhead is measured for the provenance capture for the aggregate queries and the select queries, which are generating the larger number of the result tuples. So the proposed framework provides the support for efficient querying of the provenance information for both data and the update queries. And applicability of the framework is shown for the terrorist attack investigation by identifying suspicious node and the linked communities. And the framework can be further extended for the distributed graph database on the different nodes in a cluster. So these are the references, and thank you.